Hello and welcome to Patron, a new game that is coming out to Steam on August 10th, and the developer was kind enough to send me an early key for this game. So the version that we're going to play here is almost, well, the game that you will see on August 10 on Steam. And this game is, well, a city building game, obviously, and it is strikingly similar to Banished, especially when we start playing it, and that's something we're going to do right away. Let's get cracking. I just want to show you the settings, what is possible before we actually start a game. So first of all, we do need to decide on a town name again, of course. So in that case here, we're going with Sleepy Hollow. Who would have thought? I like the banner. We can keep the banner. We've got quite a lot of maps available, as we can see. So there's lots of stuff here to explore. We got some archipelago, some North Peak, volcano islands, and here we can also see all of them have different fertilities and richnesses and weather as well. So there's a tropical weather. We will see palm trees on this one, Mediterranean, and we are going with, I guess, the Pine Ridge, a map that I like a lot because it has thick pine forests, it has mountains and hills, and it has a temperate weather. Let's continue. We have the difficulty settings here. As we can see, we can choose quite a lot of stuff actually. We can have the presets up to hard, and we can also have some of these options here. As always, I like to go with some hard settings, and let's get cracking. Alrighty, and here we are already as the game is starting. My people are coming out. As we can see in Sleepy Hollow, it is May the year 1. It has 15 degrees right now, 15. We got a few resources here, so some gold, some food, some tools. There's a bit of iron and stone, a bit of lumber and firewood. Well, firewood, I guess we know that. Let's just have a look around as well. We can toggle some different things. So there we have our job board that we will need for assigning them to different jobs. We have our research tree. At this point, it is quite extensive, so we have lots and lots of tech in this game already, and lots of buildings. We'll see how far we explore this one. Another thing is the view. I would like to toggle the minimap right away, so we can have the minimap then somewhere. Let's have it here in the corner, and there we can see how big this map is actually, right? So if we want, we can really build quite a lot of things. I would like to go ahead now and start with my first thingies here, and the first thing, of course, that we do need, that we do want, is a street. So as always, a street, we can toggle some different views here, so the grid view that we have, which makes building stuff, especially building the roads, quite easily. And since roads don't cost anything, we can just go crazy about them and just build as many as we want. So that's that, right? That we have it. Let's go back to the normal view. It's pretty hard to build roads without the grid system, I think. So that's that. Now let's just have a look around as well. We got lots of trees. The cool thing is we can disable the trees for an easier building mode. I like that especially. So that's pretty feature rich looking, the whole building process there. Also some roads behind my town hall, of course. The town hall will play a major role because we can enact policies in this one. And up here where we have all that forest, I would like to go ahead now and start with my first buildings. The first one is something that we're going to need quite a lot, and that is for my production buildings, a depot. Right, so something where we can store resources. This is what my citizens will get and stuff like that. So let's build our first building here, a depot. Off you go. We can build it now. And while we are here, let's continue with some basic construction of basic gathering buildings. So for now, the menu is not that easy to me yet. Let's just see. There we have the road number 1. As we can see, trees in the way will be chopped down automatically. And then we have the gathering shelter. Let's build it here, and let me tell you, these buildings are huge, right? We have just look at the sawmill. This is a massive building that wants to build it. It's going to take up a lot of space. I do need the herbalist. we do need a lot of these buildings actually. We don't have that many people actually. We have 9 adults at the moment, 5 young ones and 2 children. Let's go ahead and build the forester, because we do need, after all, getting some wood into my little settlement. Another thing, the hunting lodge is another thing that we should be having. So this one here, the gatherer shelter, the hunter, can be just across the street. There we have it, to offer us not only food but also leather. Very nice. We can unpause the game again. So my people are now going to start getting some resources, and they're going to start building it. While they're doing all of that, there's also bear running around. Hopefully it's not too dangerous to us. What we also can do is we can have a look around what is happening on the map there. We got some iron here, or some coal, I think, and we can still gather these resources, well, the manual way, just like in other games like that. So I would like to go ahead and select a few of them. Coal is something that we do actually need quite early on. My main goal right now is obviously to survive the first winter. Since it's only spring for now, May, and 15 degrees and of course climbing, we're not in the biggest pressure yet, but we will be. So firewood and food for the first winter is one of my major goals. And for that I actually do need to have another building that I completely forgot. We got the forester, right? And we also need a sawmill. Let's have the sawmill a bit further down here actually, so we're a bit further away from my collection industry, right? So my gather industry that we have up there. Let's also build us another nice road here, so this is a way that goes then someplace else. Very nice, and we can do the same thing then just here, if we want to continue to another place then. Righto. Oh, it's really dark right now, bad weather we have, probably going to rain soon. But just after a bit of time, we have it sunny again. Temperatures are climbing. As we can see, my people are busy bees. They're also carrying stuff. Speaking about carrying, we should have a carrier assigned. So I like that we can see what they're doing here right away. So the carrier is a specialist worker dedicated to carrying resources around the town. Quite obvious, right? We still have 8 workers and we need to be very careful about using them. Now, the stock has been built, or my depot has been built. So there we have that. By the way, money, well, we get in from taxes. We don't get any money in right now. Why is that? Because we don't have any people that pay taxes. They only pay us taxes if we build them some houses. We should probably be doing that now. So let's get ahead and build the first few houses just here. And perhaps also just here on the other side, right? We don't have the resources to build another one. Oh, okay. I thought I would have that, but I don't. Let's just go ahead and have that road then here. And we know we can squeeze in another house just there. Fine. Oh, and also the first buildings are ready. So there we have our forester hut. Let's assign someone to that right away. And we also got the gatherer shelter. There we have it, some 2 people for that. So the gatherer shelter is going to collect us wild fruit and mushrooms. And the forester hut, of course, is planting and cutting down the trees in its surrounding area. And as we can see, we have quite a lot of surrounding area. I didn't want to build it too far away now because the commuting times would be too big then at some point. Right, so we are rather not doing that for now. Also over here, the hunting lodge coming along. The workers should start working now as well. And the first houses are being finished just as we speak. There we got the first one. There is actually place for 6 people in that. And yeah, as we can see, they're moving in here. They're paying us now 153 taxes per year. And also they're having their own inventory. They're getting those resources now, for example, from the depot where we have that bear again. What are you doing here? Is he trying something? Something nasty with our depot? I hope not. Next house, we're up and running as well. Perfect. Beans and pork, some wheat. So just some stuff that we have lying around. Also, my sawmill is ready. And with that, we have now the woodcutter and the hunter is also ready. So we have the hunter. And with the sawmill, we can also produce now firewood. So that's what the sawmill is doing. The logs, well, we need for buildings, so we should probably collect a bit more logs than we can, you know, process into firewood. So I might be thinking about some upgrades. There we have those upgrades then. But right now I'm lacking any kind of money. But that will come in shortly once we have those houses ready. And I like that they all look different. Very nice. The third house has been finished. 4 residents in here as well. They're getting their resources. And I might just go ahead and finish this block here. Let's just have us another road there. I like double roads because I think single roads are just way too narrow. And double roads just look a bit more realistic overall. 19 coin. That sounds good. We might be able, yes, to build another house soon. The more houses we have, the more coin we get. Even though... yeah, they're still full here, so 6 people for all of them. So 1 more house, and then I will stop with that. And as we can see also here, we can see the food and the firewood. And I do like that the statistic is right on mouse over. So as we can see, monthly produced 250 and monthly used 113. So right now we're producing more food than we need. But of course that is expected in summer, where we do need all that food. During winter we will consume it. Now we have the money. I could build now another house. We actually do have quite a few of them. We have, for example, also these shelters, which are huge buildings. And a shelter is a fine solution when the town gets too crowded and too fast. But it should only be temporary, because there is probably not going to be any childbirth in these houses. So just like in other similar games, people want some proper living room before they can reproduce and scootly poop around all day. And we're going to do the same thing. We're building just a normal one of these houses. They're rather expensive, but they're paying off rather quickly there as well. That's my idea behind it anyway. Now, the forester hut, we could have now the fertilizer as we have the coin, but I'd rather wait for another additional worker slot on this one. So we do need 10 more coin, 9 more coin, and then we can upgrade this one and have one of our workers working as a forester there as well to get us more lumber out. This last house here could still be filling up with some people. There we have it. There should be still some people moving in. At least firewood is already in. Oh, very nice. Not enough workers. What happened? We built that house here just now. I guess we lost 2 people right now. Someone died, definitely. We had 9 before, and we're down to only 1 worker now. We always need some workers. Just look at those buildings, how beautiful they are. I love those details. A sawmill sign, so no one really misses that building when he needs to chop down some logs, I guess. Even though the logs being piled up here, of course, don't give you any real hint. I don't know. Forester hut. These buildings look really lovely there. Gatherer shelter. Though it's pretty huge for a gatherer shelter. And then we have that hunting lodge. There's only one living in, or one working here, unfortunately. And yes, the food is going down still, so we might still have a look at that. Firewood we produce quite a lot, so I might actually be thinking about an expansion in the gatherer shelter instead of my forester. Let's do that. That's, oh yeah, that's 50 coin. And then we can assign a 3rd gatherer to that, so that we get even more people in that. And then we also have the efficiency upgrades, like the large basket, for production 25% increase. A bit of coin we need, and then we could boost this even further. At least 1 worker or 1 young grew up, and we have 8 residents again. Let's go ahead and get the large basket there. So production and a 25% increase for the gatherer shelter. Something we probably should do. I don't know if we can see the larger baskets now. I guess it's larger pockets or something like that, because they still don't have anything on their back, but I could wish for that, right? Efficiency is at 136% so far. So that's 1,146 per year. I don't know if that is really correct. I guess there's no easy way of checking it out. We could check the food directly, or, well, all that belongs to food, like the pepper, the lettuce, the garlic. And as we can see, nothing is really being produced in that case for now. It's pretty hard actually to grow up there. And I hope we're not losing anyone anymore or any longer, because we would be really down there on people then. Oh, look at that. And there we also got the first events. So there's events in this game. The poor state of our treasury has reached the king's ears. He's offered to help us this time. Be careful what you send or spend your coins on, especially in the beginning. Investing in building upgrades is a good idea. We welcome the royal assistance. We get 250 coin from the king, so that's enough money. We can afford some stuff like that. We should be careful, of course, what we want to afford. We could have another large basket for the gatherer shelter, so that's another 50% bonus on the production. 15 lumber, let's go ahead with that. I would also like to go ahead and have the expansion for my forester hut, so that we have the improved access. That does cost me a bit. And then probably a normal expansion as well. So we do have 2 foresters, and let's assign the last worker to that forester there as well. We're not getting in a lot of lumber at the moment. As we can see, we're using more than is produced. Because probably also the sawmill is consuming so much of that. And the other thing would be the hunting lodge. That we have also some stuff, and I guess the expert butcher venison production plus 10% sounds pretty good to me, so that we can boost it as well. So this game doesn't rely on spamming buildings all the time. You rather should upgrade the buildings that you have to higher efficiency levels. Okay, and those efficiency upgrades actually made, yeah, a difference. Food is growing at the moment, and the firewood, which is really important, is also growing, so that's something here. Now, I still need something else. It's September, and that means winter is approaching soon. Our very first winter that we want to survive, of course. And for that, we do need something else. We're going to consume a lot of firewood during winter, so I would like to upgrade the insulation of my 4 houses that I have so far. That is, the firewood and coal upkeep is reduced by 25%. It costs me 20 coin dough and 5 lumber, but we can afford that for all of them. Right, so let's just add those insulations there. That's pretty important, I think, because overall it saves us a lot when all of these houses consume 25% less than what would have been previously necessary. We don't have a lot of workers right now. That means we have 0 workers. I could still go ahead and, yeah, sign them to upgrade, or well, to gather some resources. Oh, that's a pretty nice detail there. I didn't see her doing that yet. She was actually carrying a sapling there, I think, for a new tree. And the mushrooms disappeared because of that. Interesting. Now, while not necessarily completely needed, we should still have something like a well, for example, this one here. By the way, there we have the docks. We could already build them, though they're pretty expensive. They also cost me quite a lot of upkeep. The docks enable us trading with the outside world, and that is pretty important, especially if we should be running out of tools, or when we should be running out of tools, I could import some of them again. Now, what I actually want to do here is the well, so increases the health and reduces the chance of raging fire for all my citizens and for all my buildings. I do have this tiny little spot here. Let's go ahead and have a little well here. I think it just fits in there nicely. And we definitely should have something, just in the event of a fire, or if my citizens get sick during winter, they can use the well to replenish some of their health, I guess by drinking water or washing themselves. That bear really likes my village, and he's going to my he's going to my sawmill, and I guess he's just having some fun there with my worker. My worker's still alive, so I don't even want to know what kind of fun they're doing in there. Now let's just see, we could still go ahead and further improve the efficiency of my buildings, since we still have some resources there. I definitely don't want to spend any tools anymore, because the tools we cannot replenish at the moment, we cannot get them up there. So something that doesn't cost me tools, well, not really necessary. It's October, it's the dark season, the dark October. Unfortunately no golden trees here, looking rather dark, but I do like the lighting effects that we have around my buildings, looking rather gloomy. By the way, we can also upgrade those roads into paved roads if we want to. And yes, it's rainy, it's cold, it's getting colder. We have 2 degrees left only. I think we're not getting enough firewood anymore because we are full. That might be something, so that might be the cause of that. Meanwhile, also the well is well, it's about to finish. No one, of course, obviously is working on it. So we are completely fully utilized here with my population. Unfortunately, I might actually reassign someone. For example, we do have enough lumber. Oh, and the snow is creeping in, and no one is growing up. We only have 3 young ones though, so that's not going to happen. Let's have the forester here being assigned as a worker, and that means that he's basically now hopefully finishing that well here. Even though I'm not expecting any real fire there during winter season, which is now upon us, -2 degrees. And while as we can see, the firewood consumption was rather low in the last month, I'm pretty sure that it's, oh yeah, and there it is, monthly used 50. So from now on, it has more than doubled, I think, even tripled. And in that case, there we can feel the insulation, because now we are not consuming that much firewood anymore. Food is still fine, though we are also now producing less food during winter, so the efficiency of my buildings is going down while it's getting colder, so it's not above 100% anymore. We might compensate that by just getting the production up and running, so by just getting a better production or a better efficiency of this production up and running. Now, we still have one building that I would like to build while we can. Oh, by the way, the well is finished. Nice detailed step with the icicles hanging around. And that is the shrine. So the shrine is a rather small but still impactful display of religiousness. It increases the religion in a small area. And with the belief, another demand fulfilled, another need fulfilled to make my people happy. And happiness is pretty important. The happier they are, the more likely it is for them to schooly poop around, and also the more likely it is to, well, for them to pay us more taxes. And taxes is what we do need here right now. So let's build that shrine. It's a rather small building, but once again, we can have this one just here beside the sawmill. So hopefully they don't hear the sawmills or the chains too often there. So let's build it here. A nice little kitchen. By the way, for beautification, we do have a lot of options available, but the flag post is the only one that we can build right now. Does it cost me tools? Nope, it does, however, cost me stone, so I'm not building that now. We don't have that much stone left anymore, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to need that for some other stuff then in the future. That signal worker is now building everything by himself. Poor soul. It's actually a woman, and she's doing that just fine. Once again, the bear is running towards my sawmill, and he's getting out again. So they're having a lot of fun in there. I don't even see an entrance to that. What do I care? There's the shrine. Perfect. I can reassign that worker now back to the forester. And that's about it. Isn't that looking nice? Perfect. Because we still need all that lumber, of course. As we can see, because I've reassigned that worker there from forester to worker, the production is below my usage again, my consumption, right? So I do need that worker. Otherwise, we are running out of logs pretty soon. It's January, -3 degrees, so it's actually not that cold. And yep, we're using more firewood now than we produce. So in that case here, it was definitely a good idea to stockpile them, because now we consume more and it's going down. And I hope it's lasting us until at least March, because then it's getting warmer again. Still, no one is growing up. What a shame. But at least that is looking fine. And while we actually just watch around now, I would like to have a look at the research there as well real quick. Let's go to the first here all the way back. And there we have our first text that we can now decide on. And I think the fisherman hut is looking quite interesting, because this one here gives me fish and crabs, so more food, or different types of food. There's quite a lot of them. And it also opens up then the food production policy. So I was talking about that earlier, the policies in the town hall that we can enact. So I'm going ahead with that one here as my first attack. And we might then just also go with the quarry as the next one. This one here is then producing, or well, extracting stone that we need. And this opens up then the mine. And this opens up coal and iron for us. And then finally, and very important, the toolsmith. With the toolsmith, we will be independent, hopefully, because right now we're not. And I just need to check here something real quick. The docks, they don't consume any tools. Very good. I would have been very shocked now if the docks would consume some tools, and we would have been running out of them. Ooh, that would have been a very dead end, I think, but it's fine. We have to be careful still. Alright, this winter isn't looking so bad. We are winning this one, but there hasn't been any event yet. Any bad event happening and stuff like that. And also I was well prepared with the firewood and the food. So far so good, and we can continue now on to further expansions. I hope you like this one, and then we'll continue here. Stay tuned.